Hi, this is Dave. Dave's Vintage Baseball Cards. This is my contact information. And we're going to tackle a little bit of a more complicated issue today, the 1909 through 1911 T206 baseball card set. This set features, well, there's over 500 cards. Of course, many of the players had as many as 3 or 4 cards. But this is what my T206 section looks like when you get there from the tobacco page. And I'm going to talk about a couple of the little different issues that are going to jump around here a little bit. This is kind of a neat one right here, this Sweeney. You see the picture on the left, there's no B. The picture on the right, there is B. It's a very rare variation. There's no red tint, no red dye in that particular picture at all. So anything with the B, the red, didn't show up. The collars, the hat, everything. It's rather a valuable card. And then over here we have a copy of a drum back, which is one of the more difficult issues to get. When we talk about some more of the tougher cards, I'll just show you what they look like. Use It is a very difficult issue. Not quite as tough as drum, but right up there along with them. Here's copies of some drum backs. Lennox is probably along the same line as Use It. Then some other popular difficult backs would be the Carolina Brights. I've got lots of pictures of these, but these cards have all been sold quite some time ago. And then the Broadleafs. You can see on these particular ones, these are the 350 series. The Broadleaf 460s are almost impossible. There's a total of 17 different backs, the toughest of all being the Ty Cobb back, which is only found on the Ty Cobb card. It's found on this particular card. This is a little bit of a more difficult back. It's a Tolstoy back. It's in the category along with Cycles and a few others. Here's a graded card of Steve Evans. And you can see this guy here, he's got a polar bear back. Here's a Southern Leaguer. Southern Leaguer cards are a little more difficult. This is an Elam from a Nashville. And this is a very difficult back, one of the tougher backs. It's a Hindu brown. These could also be found with red, and those are almost impossible. Here's a Hall of Famer, Adi Joss, great pitcher, died at the age of 29 with, I think, 162 victories in the Hall of Fame. This is one of the more common backs, a Piedmont back. Piedmont and Sweet Caporal being the two most common backs. When you go to the page, back to this page here with the Sweeney, and this is actually the card pricing page. Now, I've got over 1,000 T206s in stock, and when you scroll down, you can see the price list, and you see these little thumbnails off to the side. So, let's say you're not sure how I grade cards or what do the cards look like. Well, you can click on that thumbnail, and every card is scanned, and they're pretty good size, and you can even blow them up a little bit, and you can see pretty good detail right there of what you'll be getting. And you could tell me, hey Dave, I like that card in the middle, send us that one. Here's another interesting card. This is one with a cracked plate, I think. It's sharp, and there's a picture of the card. But in this particular case, it's Shap. You can see the way it is and the way it should have been. The little piece on that first P appears to have broken off. And so you have an error which was fixed, so that makes it kind of a valuable card. Anyway, here's a couple of other cards just to give you an idea. You know, different cards were printed in different series. Here's 3 cards. They're all the same player. Sovereign, Piedmont, common back, and Sweet Caporal. Now, the Sweet Caporal backs and the Piedmonts, as I mentioned, are the most common. And as you can see, and I'm not going to start thumbing through this box, but there's about 1,000 of the T206 cards in here, and I have a small amount here of graded cards. There's some Hall of Famers in there, and other cards that are in a little bit nicer condition. But for the most part, they're average collector grade cards, you know, VG to VGX to excellent, and they're just in the card savers, which is as far as space goes, an economical way to store these things. Anyway, here's our address again at the website, and we consider ourselves to be fairly knowledgeable about the T206s, so if you have some of these and you have questions about them, or you're interested in buying and adding to your collection, or perhaps somebody gave you a collection, or you found a collection of these somewhere in some garage sale or attic somewhere, we're always interested in buying. Small collection or large collection, complete set, incomplete set, we're interested. So we'll look forward to seeing you here at Dave's Vintage Baseball Cards. Come by and visit us. That's our contact information. And check out our selection of T206s. And we'll say goodbye with the Ty Cobb PSA 3 Tolstoy. Great card. This is one of 4 Ty Cobbs. There's a red background, green background. There's one with a bat on the shoulder and one with a bat off the shoulder. Obviously, this is the red background. Anyway, have a nice, safe 4th of July, and we'll see you soon at Dave's Vintage Baseball Cards.